Namaskar, this is Pooja and Rashmi from Divine Valley. Today we have with us Sunil Raina Rajanaka. He's an active community activist from past many years. He's keenly following the tradition of Kashmir Shaivism. He follows the teachings laid by Shaivism masters. He's currently even studying Tantra Loka, magnum opus of Abhinav Gupta, under the guidance of learned scholar Motilal Panditji. He, as a hobby, he's also learning Kashmiri traditional musical instrument Santoor, and will play a few rags for us during the part of the interview. He's a writer by heart and writes on many topics, including Barwas in Kashmir. He's currently serving as editor-in-chief of prestigious and famous journal Nad. Apart from all these, he's a nature lover, as you can see from his background as well. It shows his both facets of being as a Santoor player and a nature lover. Welcome to Divine Valley, Mr. Sunil Raina ji.
Namaskar, all the viewers.
Namaskar, Sunil ji. Namaskar, Sunil ji. So, welcome, Sunil ji, to our Divine Valley. So today, Sunil ji will be discussing about a bit of Shivism and Santoor, which is part of Shivism only, which is invocation to Lord Shiva. Welcome, Sunil ji.
So let me play an invocation to Lord Shiva. So this was an invocation to Lord. So let me play a traditional Indian raga. See, Santoor has been mostly in Kashmir used for a kind of a Sufiana music, or what we can call as a kind of a batiks, or kind of a folklore or a folk tradition. It was a part of a folk instrument. But over the years, in last 60-70 years, the Santoor has graduated itself into a wonderful musical instrument where Indian classical ragas can also be played. So let me play a raga, because the one more aspect of Santoor is that for each raga you have to tune the instrument according to that raga. So currently it has been tuned with the Rag Kirwani. So I'll just play a Rag Kirwani for you, so that you will get a flavor of that rag for the viewers. Thank you.
Wow,
This was a
Good,
small
very good.
sample.
Amazing.
it was wonderful.
Yeah,
It
very
has
good.
like that soothing, calm, effect on brain. And I remember this took me back to when we used to get up in Kashmir early, and the raga used to play on DD or in radio somewhere. So it took me long back in the time. Thank you so much, Sunil ji, for playing such a beautiful rag. So how long have you been learning Santoor?
It's been now 2.5 years that I thought of learning Santoor earlier, but since last 2.5 years, I am continuously learning under the guidance of my guru. So far, I have been able to learn at least 6 ragas, and that's how because there are so many ragas, and on Santoor, not much ragas have been yet tried. So slowly and steadily, uh, it will take a journeys on. So I'm hopeful that I will keep on learning more and more in the coming time. So Santoor is basically connected to the Kashmir, as you rightly said. It took me back
Yes.
to Kashmir and all that.
So how is it
So
connected with Shivism? You were saying that Santoor is like, it's connected to Shivism. It's used to invoke Lord Shiva. So, I mean, other musics are as well, but why Santoor especially?
The history of the string music, the santoor is basically a string instrument. So there are strings on which you strike with a striker, and then it sound emanates and it travels, and you like it. So all the string instruments have a historical authenticity. For example, there is a vina which we call Rudra vina. So Rudra vina, it has been said that the inventor of that Rudra vina was Lord Shiva himself. So Santoor is basically in earlier times there is a reference to a veena called shatatantri veena. Shat means shatak. For example, when we say shatak, shatak means 100. So shat means 100. Shatatantri strings. Veena means we all call string instruments as veena. So the reference was there as a shatatantra veena. So over the time, how it was actually it got kind of there was like lot of innovations, then many things got changed or added. So ultimately the form which we see Santoor today is connected to that Shatatantra Veena, of which we have an earlier reference to in various Shavite texts or as well as in various musical history. So this is the connection of the this present Santoor with the our historical scripture. Secondly, why it is I say it's connected with the Kashmiri Shaivism, because when you play an instrument, it brings a calmness in you. The whole emphasis of our Kashmiri philosophy, Kashmiri Shaivism, which we call in Hindi, is to bring the calmness in you, to reduce the friction in your mind, and get yourself focused. So when you play a santoor, you get transported into that phenomena at that particular time. You travel with that raga or with that sound. So at that particular moment of time, there is no other thought in your mind except that particular uh, music. So at that, in that frame, in that particular framework, there is no other. You are focused in that. So the whole emphasis of Kashmir Shaivism is to focus your mind on one particular thing. So
Okay.
Santoor plays a part, because when you go in a meditation, you are told in
Yeah.
meditation you take a posture, concentrate here on the some part of your body, or you concentrate on something. So uh, Santoor plays that part indirectly, which is not known to many people outside.
okay, so that's, but why except Pandit Shivra, Shiv Kumar Sharma, we never heard anybody playing.
Yeah.
We thought it was like associated with him only, but it's not that prevalent in Kashmir. So how is it from your viewpoint? Are many people taking this up now, or we still need to do a lot of work in that area?
I think the Santoor had been over the years been a part of Kashmir music Bathaks earlier also, but it was not so prominent because it was a kind of a folk instrument. So folk instruments do not immediately come into the public domain. So when the classical music or the Sufyan music, as we say in Kashmir, or the Bhajans or Shavite Bathaks used to happen, so this instrument used to be played at that time.
Okay.
But when of late, means much record is not there during the last 600-700 years that how it evolved, but definitely there is a Santoor in China also. They call it by different name. Santoor is also prevalent in Iran. It is also prevalent in Greece and other parts of Europe, and now in the US.
Okay.
Okay.
So, but there is a difference between the same Santoor and the Santoor in other parts of the world. They have a different style of playing. They have a different make of the material and all that. But the Kashmiri Santoor is mostly very intrinsic to the calmness. It calms your mind to a great effect. It's a kind of a meditative instrument. The moment you play it, you get transported to a different sphere of world. So the masters in music masters in Kashmir had given it a local flavor, a local design. It became a trapezoid. There are two bridges, as you see, two different bridges on the Santoor board. So you have to play between these two only. You can't play outside. Whereas in others you can play outside as well. So also you have to keep on tuning the instrument as per your requirement. So that keeps on happening as and when you play different ragas. So they have made it a kind of a local instrument catering to the local music lovers.
Okay.
So one more thing I just wanted to check with you was how would the new generation learn this basically?
Yeah.
See, it's a very relevant question. You might have seen young generation, they love jazz, they love pop, they love to play with the guitar. So these instruments, like various other instruments, guitar, drums, these are very easy instruments. You keep it there, you don't have to learn too much of it. You play it, you go to online and learn it, and slowly and steadily you can master it as well. But Santoor, which I say, it has a very intrinsic quality of calmness. It creates an inner bliss. So those who are really interested in creating some kind of an value within themselves, to evolve themselves or to understand the bliss of the music. So for them, Santoor is the right instrument to play with. Now, coming to the question that how many youngsters are playing. So see, in last 60, 70 years, the history of Santoor has been that in Kashmir, this folk instrument came into the Radio Kashmir the help of Mohammad Tibet Baqal Sahab. So Tibet Baqal Sahab played this in the Radio Kashmir, and you know, all during the Shivratri festival, we listen to Dalate Madal sung by him. So
That is
Dalate Madal,
also
yeah, that was along with the Santoor. So in traditionally, we can say that in Kashmir music gharanas, Santoor was played both as an instrument as a part of a vocalist. So vocal used to sing and play as well. So which is not part of our Indian classical music. So that's how Tibet Baqal Sahab brought it to the Radio Kashmir. Then Pandit Shiv Kumar Sharma ji learned from him during his childhood. And now we have Pandit Bhajan Sopori ji. He has also given it a wider international audience. So this is how the journey of an instrument from folk instruments to a normally coming to the limelight has come up. So young generation has been young generation in Kashmir. There is a particularly as music department is there, and the music department has a particular faculty dedicated to Santoor. So the young Kashmiri boys are learning Santoor. I was just speaking the other day to the head of department of that Santoor faculty, and he told me that in last 3-4 years, almost 100 youngsters are learning Santoor. They have gone to the various colleges. They are training the youngsters, making them aware of this Kashmiri indigenous instrument, and slowly and steadily the people are learning about it. So young generation also needs to, if they want to connect with Kashmir, they need to have their own indigenous instrument, learn it, and make it more prominent at the world stage.
Unfortunately, I don't think we can learn it online. Otherwise,
we could. I was thinking. I was getting, you know, this I was thinking if Sunil ji has started, then maybe we can also start
Because I've
learning it.
heard people are teaching guitar online these days in Corona.
Yeah, no, there are many
Not
instruments,
sure whether we
piano,
can learn
guitar.
this online. There'll be
But it is good to know
Hmm.
that universities have picked up this instrument. So then there is future for this to stay and, be revived. I see that as a light there.
Sure. Yes, yes, that's how
So
it is.
thank you, Sunilji. Thank you, Lord, for playing this and telling us about this